Hey, it's Sri here, and in today's video I'm going to talk you through the importance of being able to embrace your feminine energy in your marriage right now, especially from a masculine perspective. Now, I know that right now if you're watching this video you're probably going through a really tough time, and my heart breaks for you because I know how difficult it is when marriages are falling apart. It really starts to uproot your entire life, and so I'm here to serve you. So make sure you watch this entire video so that you really take advantage of the principles that I'm going to teach you, really put them into practice, and really do everything you can to maximize your chances of saving your marriage. And I want you to have the experiences that clients like Laurie and Angie and Monique and Sarah and all these beautiful women who have been able to turn their marriage around from the brink of divorce. So keep watching, make sure you take notes, and really maximize your understanding of these principles. Make sure you hit that subscribe button below and click on that bell notification as well, so every week you get access to my latest videos where I talk you through a little bit more about how to really heal from infidelity, how to save your marriage from the brink of divorce, and really learn lots about male psychology as well. So you can really get to the root cause of why he does what he does and how you can really get through to him in terms of your communication. Now, one of the things that's really interesting is in my work when I'm speaking to women on a regular basis, one of the things I find is that women tend to fall into two categories. You get the ladies that come through to my practice who are really beautiful and kind-hearted and soft and gentle, and inevitably have deeper wounds within themselves. They might feel like they're not good enough. They might feel like they're inadequate, or they've got abandonment issues and so on. And then you get other individuals who appear externally a lot stronger, a lot more domineering if you'd like, and really can be quite controlling on some level as well. And that's not a criticism, that's just an observation from what I've seen. And what's really important here is that when you sit on either of these camps, it's not that you're a bad person or anything like that. It just means that your way of managing your own internal wounds is different. So one person might feel inadequate, and so they start just getting down on themselves, and they appear soft and kind and considerate to other people, but deep down inside they just have this really uncomfortable pain, but they don't want to come across as pissed off or angry or anything like that. Then you get the other individuals who their defense mechanism when they're not feeling good enough is to get angry, is to establish control from other people. And also what they will do in those situations is they will do everything in their power to make sure that they're putting those wounds to the side and then reacting in ways that are going to ensure that they get the outcome that they're looking for. So they're not necessarily conscious of their internal wounds, but their behaviors are in reaction to those internal wounds, if that makes sense. So because you have these two paths, if you like, that people can go down, it often results in problems in a marriage. And the reason why it results in problems is because on the one hand, you've got individuals who feel like they're not good enough, so their life is going to be a reflection of how they feel on the inside. And when they're operating from a softer place, and they're always feeling down on themselves, and they're coming across as needy or desperate and so on, then that's not necessarily going to be attractive to the partner. And then on the flip side, you've got another situation here where you've got someone who's more controlling, more angry, and then what they're doing is they're taking more of that masculine energy, and the man is unable to step into his masculine, so he becomes more feminine, and he engages in behaviors that aren't necessarily for his highest good or for the highest good of the marriage. Now here's the thing, all human beings have both what we call masculine and feminine energies. Now I won't go into the science of it and things like that, but the short of it is that all of us, men, women, doesn't matter what gender, doesn't matter what sexual orientation, it's irrelevant. We all hold on to both masculine and feminine energies, but one is generally more dominant than the other. And typically what happens is men tend to be more masculine and women tend to be more feminine. However, when people are under stress, what happens is the energy is then reversed. So people who are more masculine tend to become more feminine. when people who are more feminine tend to become more masculine. And often what that does is create this reverse polarity. Now this reverse polarity is detrimental in a marriage. It causes so many problems because you've got a man who's used to being a man, operating in a way that he's so comfortable with and has been comfortable with over the years. And then certain things go on in the marriage, and then that causes him to flip, and then he doesn't know what to do with it, and he feels inferior on some level. He doesn't feel like he can own himself. He doesn't feel like he can step up and do the things that he wants to do. He feels like a fraction of himself. So that will then prevent him from being able to step up and be your man, which is what you're needing. And then what happens is the female generally will be more feminine, but then when under stress, if needs aren't being met, if there's under pressure, especially in this modern day where women are having to do everything, they're not feeling like they're getting the support that they need. So what happens? They flip to the masculine. And then the masculine energy takes over. They become more controlling, become more domineering, and so on. And then you get this cycle of behavior that goes on, which then results in the couple slowly disconnecting over time. And then before you know it, one person has an affair, or one person says, I want to leave you, or I want a separation, or whatever. And then that causes problems. Now, those are some patterns that I see regularly. But what I really want to sort of explain to you here today is that if you're in a situation where you are struggling with your husband and you're not able to get through to him, and you've taken some time to really do a bit of a stock take on your marriage, and you've maybe seen that, this idea of reverse polarity has occurred, it's something that you really want to explore. And the reason why you want to explore it is because when marriages are at that kind of rocky phase, that's the time where you've got to step up and you've got to make some changes. Because your approach that you've taken, I don't mean just you, but also your husband, the approach that you guys have taken have gotten yourselves to this point. Something needs to shift. Something needs to change. And the way we change that is by creating a change within ourselves. That's the only thing that we can actually control. We need to look inwardly and say, okay, am I being my best self? Am I showing as much empathy as I could? Am I being as understanding and considerate towards him as possible? Am I communicating in a way that is helping me to get my message across in a way that he's really resonating with and he's understanding? Are we able to have some practical conversations? And part of doing that is to really embrace your femininity. Now, why that's important is for two reasons. One is for him to step into his masculine, which is what you will actually be wanting. You need to make sure that you're in your feminine. And secondly, when you're in your feminine, one of the great things is that when we communicate from that place, it's got such a beautiful radiant energy about it that the other person is going to respond better. I mean, let's just be honest here. If someone you met just in public started like shouting at you, why are you acting like this? Why are you being like this? I'm sick and tired of you operating like that. You're not going to respond well to it. You're going to get on the defensive, right? And this is what often happens in marriages, is because one person will typically be quite controlling or quite domineering and quite forceful in their communication. The other person reacts back, or they shut down. Now, what you want to be doing is communicating from an open heart. The way we communicate from an open heart is by embracing our femininity and letting our grievances go. We've got to let go of some of those grievances as well, because what that does is it creates an energy block on the inside. And then when there's that energy block, we can't flow with love. We can't flow with femininity. And this also applies to the men out there as well. Men also need to make sure that they are stepping into their feminine at times when it comes to communication, when it comes to love, when it comes to radiance and warmth. It's really important. Of course, men need to be masculine, step up and conquer and achieve and all of those good things. That's a beautiful thing. But there also needs to be a balance there for all men. I really believe that. And I also believe with women there also needs to be a balance of masculine and feminine energies as well. You need to have time where you can, kick ass and do the things that you need to do and achieve and succeed and all of that stuff, but there's also times where you've got to make sure you exude your warmth and your radiance. And the reason why it's so important for you now to really make sure that you embrace that femininity is because firstly, it's going to allow you to feel like your best self. You know, one of the common themes I hear all the time when I'm speaking to ladies on the phone is I feel like I'm a fraction of who I am. I don't feel like myself. I feel like I've lost myself. Does that sound familiar? You know, if it does sound familiar, just write your comments below about how that may have happened for you or some of the challenges that you're dealing with. But feeling like you've lost yourself is such a problem for so many people. So this will help you to reconnect with who you are. So it gives you that warmth of communication, but allows you to feel radiant and joyful and loving and compassionate and caring, and just where you just exude that energy. Now, how do we do that? How do we connect in with that femininity? Well, you might be sitting there going, well, hang on, Shree, you're a man. What the hell would you know about it? Well, firstly, I've spent years and years and years interacting with women, learning lots about women. I understand the feminine energy at a really deep level. Secondly, I have a huge feminine energy part of me as well. It is something that's really important inside of me. And I've also worked with women to help them to improve that part of them. And the results have been nothing short of spectacular. The experiences that so many clients of mine have, you know, when they're in their day-to-day lives within their femininity and being able to communicate with people that they love, the experiences they have in that situation is just incredible, and they've been able to create such extraordinary shifts both in their marriage but also within themselves and with relationships that they have in terms of friendships, co-workers, all of that stuff. It is a very, very important thing. So in terms of what you can do, the first thing that you can do is do what we call expanding the heart. See, feminine energy truly resides in the heart. That's the center for love. So we want to expand that energy out. So a lot of us, though, are living in our head. You know, we're always worried about things. We're thinking about what could go wrong, what might go wrong, what has gone wrong, what will go wrong. We're always living in so much fear. But if we can learn to expand our heart, that is a beautiful, beautiful thing. A really, really beautiful gift that you can give yourself. Now, the way to expand the heart is a couple of ways. One is really learning to breathe from your heart. So literally just take a couple of minutes now, and pause this video, and just put your right hand on your heart and just start to breathe from your heart. Literally imagine the heart expanding with each breath. And then while you're doing that, I want you to focus on all the things that you love in your life, or even some moments of love that you've had in your life, and really just feel that in your heart. Feel that energy expand, and it's going to start radiating out in your body as well. So you start to connect in with your beauty, your love, your radiance. So that's a really important thing. And secondly, one of the things that you can do right now is to imagine that you're bringing in what we call a blue-green earth energy, okay, from the center of the earth down through up through the base of your spine and filling your entire body up, okay, with this beautiful energy. Now, I know some of you are going to be sitting there going like, what the hell is he talking about? Please listen to me on this one. This is a really, really powerful exercise. The reason why it's important is because, see, firstly, I know a number of you who watch my videos are quite spiritual. Secondly, what it does is it actually starts to raise your vibration as a person. And this is really important for you because to shift our approach in our marriage, to shift our communication, we've got to shift internally within ourselves. How do we do that? Yes, there's a combination of physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. One of the things that we want to do here in order to embrace the feminine energy, obviously we're going to do a bit more of the physical and emotional, but we've got to embrace some of the spiritual as well. And this is a really, really powerful activity. In fact, it's something that I do regularly as well to embrace that part of me. I also do some activities to embrace the masculine. This is something that's really, really powerful for you. So just literally take a couple of minutes, close your eyes, imagine you've got this beautiful channel between the base of your spine, the center of the earth, and imagine that there's this beautiful blue-green energy that just comes up, fills your entire body, and as it fills you up, it starts to elevate you. You start to feel warmer, you start to feel more loving, more radiant, and you start to really embrace that goddess energy inside of you as well. It's a really, really powerful thing. So you can take a couple of these things right now, really practice them. Don't put them to the side. Don't go and watch some other YouTube video. Embrace these right now because they are really, really powerful. And if you can start to do that and embrace this on a regular basis, you're going to start to see some shifts. I promise you that. And, you know, I know sometimes though that kind of going through this stuff, especially when you're in an emotional place, can be really hard. And there's often a part of us that, you know, when we're going through a problem in our marriage, we think we need to deal with the actual kind of physical circumstances, right? So we think we've got to learn how to communicate with our husband, or we've got to find a way to just get him back. All of those things, yes, they are important to a certain extent, but the way we shift that is by working on ourselves. Please listen to me on this one. I know the temptation is there. It's almost like, you know, over the years, whenever I wanted to improve in some area of my life, whether it be, you know, my business, whether I wanted to improve in my sports and so on, my initial instinct would be, all right, I need to go and learn how to do X and Y. I need to learn how to market better. I need to learn how to, you know, play this particular shot better. I need to learn technically all this stuff. I could learn all that stuff, but it didn't make much difference at all until I shifted me. Then, when we start to shift ourselves, those things can start to come into play and really work and become more effective. But if we don't work on the internal, we just go straight to that, it very rarely works. And this is why I sort of harp on a lot about really healing from within a lot of my videos, because I really want you to get that message. It's my authentic truth. It's me speaking and practicing what I preach here as well, because I really believe in it and I do it regularly myself, so I know the benefit of it, and I want you to have the same experiences as well as a lot of my clients as well. So if you are in a position where you're struggling, if you're not sure how to do this, if you're, you know, finding it hard to sort of wake up in the morning and get the energy, or maybe you're having a really hard time getting to sleep, whatever it is, firstly, as I said, my heart goes out to you. Secondly, I want you to know that there is a way out. And so if you are needing some further help on this journey, if you are wanting to sort of go deeper and really create that proper healing, not just some band-aid fix, but really create that long-term healing, then I'd love to be of service to you through my program, The Authentic Relationship System, which is an amazing program. I know you're going to love it. It's something that's going to help you to go really deep into your own growth. And the reality is, if we don't grow, we die. So we want to make sure that you are evolving that part of you. And so if it's something that feels right for you, just all you need to do is in the description section below, just click on that link which says book a call with me. Just click on that link, choose a time that works for you, and then I'll contact you at that scheduled time so I can learn a little bit more about, you know, where you are now, where you want to get to, how you can bridge that gap, what we can really do to maximize your chances of not only saving your marriages, but really creating that healing from within. I promise you it's going to be a really, really life-changing experience. So I can't wait to speak to you. Once again, click that link and I'll contact you at that time. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you've liked it, make sure you hit the like button below. If you want to get more videos like this, hit that subscribe button. And do let me know what your biggest takeaway is from this video as well. I always love hearing the stories and the way in which you're growing and you're developing on this journey as well. It really fills my heart up when I see these sort of messages. So thank you to all those who do, and make sure you write them below and I'll respond to every single one of you. If you want to learn how to save your marriage from the brink of divorce, click this video above. And if you want to learn whether your husband is going through a midlife crisis, click this video above. Thank you so much, and I'll talk to you in the next video.